Welcome to the Natural Language Academy podcast. Today, we are recording the first video, the first podcast, and this way you can listen to me, you can listen to teacher Adri, and you can practice some listening, you can learn some vocabulary. Today, we are going to talk about the topic of hobbies. As you can see here, we have 20 questions in this bowl, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pick them up, I'm going to read them, and I'm going to answer the questions about the topic of hobbies. Easy, right? The questions are numbered from number 1 to number 20. So let's get started, right? Okay, so I'm going to pick the first question. First question is, when did you start doing your favorite hobby? Well, I think my favorite hobby is undoubtedly playing football. I think I started when I was a child. Probably I was maybe 4 years old, maybe 5 years old, 6, I don't know. I was really, really little. And I started playing in a football team. So yeah, I started at that age. Okay, now the second question, and opening now question number 2. How often do you spend time on your favorite hobby? So again, my favorite hobby is football, but it is not the only one because I also like going to the gym. Sometimes I also like jogging or running. How often? So maybe once or twice a week I try to play football. And additionally, I try to go again once or twice, maybe 3 times per week to the gym to practice some sports or some physical exercises. And additionally, I also like reading, for example, watching movies, watching series, listening to music. So yeah, I do a variety of hobbies. Now, the third question, in this case here, we have the question number 11. Have you ever tried an extreme sport? An extreme sport? I think the most extreme sport that I have ever practiced was maybe a little bit of diving, so but nothing so serious, right? Just diving in the sea to see the water animals, to see the marine animals, like I don't know, like fish, like corals, I don't know, but I think it wasn't so extreme. In the future, I think I wouldn't mind to practice something crazier, like parachuting or maybe paragliding. Climbing, I'm not so sure about climbing. I think that's more risky and dangerous, but something like that, why not? Okay, next question. Now, this is the question number 4. Who introduced you to your favorite hobby? So, as I mentioned before, my favorite hobby is football. And obviously, my father, my dad, introduced me to this sport. So I remember when I was very young, when I was very little, I remember watching football matches with my father, both at home and in a bar, outdoors. Maybe I don't quite remember, but yeah, I remember that. Okay, next question. Now, in this case, I'm reading question number 5. Okay, I repeat, they are numbered. So, do you prefer indoor or outdoor hobbies? Well, I think I prefer outdoor. Yeah, I think I prefer outdoor hobbies. Like I think, for example, walking or maybe running, jogging. It could be quite relaxing, and at the same time, you are enjoying the landscape. You are enjoying maybe the city, the riverside. Maybe you're enjoying some monuments, or if you're in the middle of the mountain, that's even better. But yes, definitely, I would say outdoor activities. Okay, next question. Now, reading question number 9. Have you ever tried a hobby that was more difficult than you expected? Definitely, yes. When I was a child, again, I tried for a short period of my life. I tried to do some judo, but to be honest, I was really bad. I was horrible at that sport. And I remember that my parents took me to some competitions, but I didn't actually compete. So I let the others win, and I did nothing. So I think it was more difficult than expected. And furthermore, I remember practicing for one day hockey, but again, I wasn't too interested in that sport, so I quit it. Okay, next question. I'm reading now question number 8. Do you think hobbies help people relax after a busy day, and why? Yeah, yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, it depends on your hobby, right? If you practice very extreme sports, probably it will be, on the contrary, something very stressful, and maybe you are not going to relax. But hobbies such as reading, such as maybe practicing some sports or physical activities could help you relax definitely, or maybe listening to music. So maybe you can listen to reggae music, or you can listen to bands like Greta Van Fleet, which I love. I really recommend you to listen to that band of music. But yeah, definitely, yes, I think the majority of hobbies would help you to relax. Next question then. I'm reading now question number 6. Have you ever joined a club to practice a hobby? Yes, of course. I have joined especially football clubs since a very young age. Yeah, I was in football clubs. So I have played, I live in Talavera, in Spain, in Castilla-La Mancha. I have played in different clubs, for example, Talavera Football Club. Additionally, I would say Ciudad de Talavera Football Club. And nowadays, I continue playing football, but in a very informal way, in a local league, in a local football club, but not in a serious way, right? But yeah, definitely yes. Next question then. This is question number 7. Which hobby would you like to take up in the future or start in the future? That's a very interesting question. A new hobby. Well, I don't know, to be honest. It could be maybe, I don't know, okay? But maybe it could be something connected again to sports, or maybe connected to something creative. I wouldn't mind, I don't know, I wouldn't mind acting, right? I really like watching movies. I really enjoy watching series as well. So maybe something connected to being an actor would be fantastic. Maybe painting also. Or if we are talking about the sport, I wouldn't mind trying a little bit of boxing, but it has to be super difficult. But yeah, I was thinking about something like that. Okay, next question then. Here we can find question number 10. What hobby would you recommend to someone who feels stressed? Well, maybe boxing, as I said before. No, I don't know. I was joking. I don't know if boxing is relaxing, but again, definitely reading, listening to music, just walking while you are talking to another person, socialize a little bit. That would be so beneficial for your brain, and definitely would help you to relax, right? Okay, next question. This is number 15. Okay, is it better to win and play dirty, or lose and play fair? This question is more difficult. If we are talking about sports such as football or basketball, from my point of view, I think it's better to play fair, right? I think it's better to have this ethics and moral. So I think it's better to lose, but having your values untouched, you know? So I think so. Next question. Now I'm picking question number 20. Okay. Could we consider partying a hobby? Partying as a hobby? Actually, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if we can consider partying as a hobby. I would say probably yes, but I'm not sure about this one. Well, partying could be a nice way of relaxing, a nice way to relax, especially if you do it with very good friends. But normally, partying is connected to or related to drinking alcohol, maybe loud music. I don't know if that's a very relaxing hobby. Yeah, I think it's a pastime. I think it's a nice activity to do in your free time, but maybe not always. Maybe from time to time. Okay, that would be my answer. Okay, next question. They are getting more difficult. Number 13. Which hobbies do you think are the most rewarding and why? Okay, so I think if you want to feel this sense of reward, probably if you train yourself, if you prepare yourself for a marathon or something similar, maybe a race, even if you don't win, I think the feeling or the sense of finishing that race or that marathon has to be really, really rewarding. And having that goal in your mind, something else is something also fun because you are going to be training. You have an objective, you have a goal, you are focused on achieving that goal. So wow, it has to be fantastic, right? Okay, next question then. Number 14 in this case. Can a hobby become a source of income? Why or why not? A source of income or maybe a job? Yes, definitely. We can see some YouTubers or some streamers that their job is maybe playing video games or maybe talking about their lives. So yeah, your hobby could become an income. Additionally, or plus, we can see football players or sport people in general probably they have become so famous and popular by playing their hobby or playing the sport that they love, right? So definitely you can do it. It's very difficult, but I think it's possible. Okay, more questions. Number 18 in this case. How do major sporting events like the World Cup or the Olympic Games affect the cities that host them? Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is maybe the economical factor. Probably during the month or during the weeks that the city is hosting this event or this kind of events, maybe restaurants, maybe hotels will earn a lot of money, right? So besides, I don't know. I think the city or the country will be open to tourists and a lot of people can get to know your culture, can get to know the art of your country, your language, your cuisine. So again, it's a very good opportunity to make others understand your culture. So yeah, I think so. Okay, next question. This case we have number 17. Are footballers a good sorry. Are footballers good role models for children or young people? I think they shouldn't be, or they don't have to be good role models. I think teenagers or maybe children mm, should have as role models or they should imitate what they see at home, right? So probably their parents are the first role models. Additionally, maybe we can talk about friends. We can talk about people around them, people in their context. So I think they should imitate footballers because I don't know maybe they can behave sometimes badly or maybe they can be rude. They can insult. So I don't know. Probably that's what I think. Okay, number 12 in this case. Would you like to learn a creative hobby? And which one? Yes, as I mentioned before, I would like to maybe practice more painting because I'm awful at this activity. I know, maybe I would like to learn to play the guitar, especially the electric guitar, because I really love rock music, hard rock music, as well as I love heavy metal. So why not? Maybe in the future, if I had the time, I will learn this creative hobby. Okay, more questions. Number 16. Do women's sports get as much attention as men's sports in your country? Well, I think they are on their way. Probably not yet, or not quite yet, but I think they are on their way. We can see it in football now. The women's football league are getting, or the leagues are getting more and more popular. But I think at the moment it is still difficult for them to catch out of attention, especially from the male public. So I don't know, but I think they are slowly getting there. Now, next question, number 19. Should there be separated sports leagues for men and women, or should all sports be mixed? Interesting questions. So, well, currently the sport leagues are separated, right? We have the male league and the female league, and it is the way it is. I think in the future, if the leagues become mixed, I think it would be curious. I think it would be interesting enough, and I think I would watch it. I would watch it, right? I think I think I would like it. I would like to watch mixed sports. And finally, the last question, in this case, well, actually, it's number 1. What hobby do you enjoy the most, and why? Well, the hobbies that I enjoy the most are connected to sports. As I mentioned before, football, going to the gym, walking, going jogging are the hobbies that I enjoy the most. Sometimes, again, I have some creative hobbies like, well, watching movies or watching series, exploring about that. Sometimes painting, listening to music. But yeah, definitely the most that I enjoy the most are sports. Yeah. Síguenos en nuestras redes sociales para no perderte futuros podcasts u otro tipo de vídeos. Además, puedes contactarnos si necesitas clases para aprender inglés o para obtener un título oficial, aquí en Natural Language Academy.